Guys, the quickening is here. I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard of the quickening. It's like the perception that time is now flying faster and faster and faster. Before you know it, the end of the week is done. Before you know it, the year is done. And it's sort of like the pace in which you see how technology changes from how television used to be in black and white, big knobs to turn, and right now you are casting programs on your television using your phones or different kinds of devices, and that's what's happening now. The 2nd of Jan, wake up in the morning, and on my timeline, I see that the parliament is on fire, right? Before you know it, stories about somebody smashing the windows of the constitutional court. Before you know it, the acting chief justice is on TV responding to an article written by Minister Sisulu. So I took notice and had to go through the article and see what's really is going on. And I think it has 4 parts where the minister talks about economics, capitalism, socialism, the rule of law, the judiciary. It's a whole combination of things. And in fact, the part with which the acting Chief Justice Zondo responded to was the last part. So you can just see that what actually is happening is, if you could remember, Minister Sisulu ran for president in the last ANC conference, of which she was not successful. And at the moment, the conference is coming through in a couple of months for the leader of the ANC. The same applies to the Constitutional Court. It's vacant for the position of Chief Justice. And this whole thing, if you see the comments for folks who are against Minister Sisulu and those who are against the acting Chief Justice, are the same factions. So on the other side, folks who are now on the side of Minister Sisulu is generally what folks call the faction of which is for former President Jacob Zuma or Ace Mahashule, the so-called RET forces, and then those who are supporting acting Chief Justice Raymond Zondo is the faction which is purported to support President Cyril Ramaphosa. So everything is playing itself within all these aspects of our, the whole political spectrum, be it economic debate, be it social justice debate, everything is just divided in those 2 factions. So you look at this article and you ask yourself, okay, we now know that there had been a whole lot of people who have been arrested for just voicing their views on the social platforms, social media platforms, which is kind of irritating to people who purport to call themselves the authorities when it comes to news, because now you have individuals with a specific expertise who are then able to debunk what's supposed to be the voice of authorities. Hence, you see most people would talk about whether being the health issues that we found ourselves in South Africa, of what our Minister of Basic Education called CODIV. You would then see the media, the corporate media now bringing so-called experts in their professions to always say, hey, we're here to debunk a myth about such and such issues that is permeating through social media. And I remember there was a lady who used to tweet supporting Jacob Zuma, and her gadgets were confiscated. She went to court, and together with few folks, the other folk was a DJ from Ukozi FM, and some other folks whom the so-called authorities at the NPA were saying there's like this list of people who were causing insurrection in the Republic of South Africa, only to find out she was a mom at home, still breastfeeding her baby. I guess she missed a couple of days or hours of not being with a baby and nursing a baby, which was kind of ridiculous. So this is what you see now. There's a guy who clearly seems to be a homeless person now in court. Charges of terrorism are thrown against this individual. And so you forget about the mere fact that, hey, listen, the government said that there shouldn't be people working over the weekends at the parliament to protect the parliament. As a result, then there was a fire in the parliament. They talk about cameras each and everywhere at a radius of 2 or 3 kilometers. We haven't seen no picture or any media showing a picture of a person walking in their parliament and trying to ban the parliament. So we're at a situation where the ANC government is failing dismally, and now you have this issue of where, frankly, what happens if tomorrow another person write an article where in that article, when they speak about an array of issues that is affecting South Africa, they happen to talk about the judiciary? Well, then Raymond Zondo comes through again and criticize that individual. How long will he keep up with that? Because that was an opinion piece. And if politicians who are in the cabinet, regardless of whether you agree or disagree with what they're saying, write articles, and then the highest acting judge in the land goes out and criticizes that individual, and mind you, Justice Zondo doesn't say that in this article, Minister Sisulu is screaming, there's fire in the theater. It's not threatening the judge. It's not threatening harm unto the judicial system, like physical harm, where it will automatically activate the law enforcement to do their job in order to deal with the minister. No, the Chief Justice, the acting Chief Justice says that these are insulted. These are insults, are being insulted. This is insulting. This is an attack on the judiciary. It's sort of like now the word attack is going to be used loosely because I know what an attack is. Okay, so if he says, so they're insulted, they're being emotional, it's the same thing which led to the sentencing of former President Jacob Zuma to jail, because they highlighted that Jacob Zuma was insulting the judges, insulting the judiciary, attacking the judiciary. So the predictions or the trajectory of what's happening, it's not quite good. Okay? So in my opinion, just like Minister Sisulu, because what she wrote was an opinion piece, I guess. So in my opinion, the judiciary or folks from the constitutional court and so forth are not supposed to go out there and be giving press conferences throughout. I think the most important thing that needs to be done is to engage the issue. And it's quite sad because the acting Chief Justice did not engage the issue. So he says that Minister Sisulu hasn't come up with facts, everything that she put out there on her opinion piece is not being factual. And also he didn't counter what the article speaks about in terms of the Roman Dutch law. We have contra lesa here in South Africa, like the codifying and the rule of traditional acts and the policies that the government had passed. How does it fit in to the holistic legal framework of South Africa? Because Minister Sisulu spoke about the issues of land and the issues of economies, addressing the whole issue of economies and so forth. And neither of this press conference really had dealt with that. It was just a hurt acting Chief Justice, expressing how he's hurt and how the minister is insulting and the attack of the judiciary. And at later stages, I would tackle the articles and and give my views and opinions about the articles as to what the minister was talking about in the article, what I agree with her about, what I disagree with her about, because she's basically talking about socialism and capitalism on her article. So my name is Mamuji, and thanks for watching the Mamuji Show. I'm out.